What's up everybody and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Hope everyone is well. Thank you for asking. Thank you to anyone who is new. Thank you to anyone here who is old. Today we're going to talk about a training program. Specific things that I want to bring up within this training plan split, and then you'll notice that throughout. There's a lot more focus on kind of glutes, hamstrings, you know, for me and my back as well, that thickness through my back. So for me, when I diet down, those are the things that sink away. When I diet down, those are the things that stand out as things to improve on when I'm throwing classic poses, because obviously there's no momentum physique, guys. I can't just sit like this and hope that it's good. You know, I've got to lift my arms up, I've got to have the thickness when my arms come up. So there's a lot for us to do, and we'll talk about that through. We'll talk through that, after this workout. But I want to take you through an actual workout so you can see how it's set up as well. So this is our push delt dominant today. Ironically, starting with calves, because those are things that I want to improve as well. So 4 sets on calves today, and then we'll move on to delts. Oh. That's my feet. I mean, I suffer with, I don't know if anyone else suffers, I suffer with like plantar fasciitis, so like the inner lining of my foot, that big long ligament that runs across it. When I get heavy, it just gets so tight. So when I do things like calf raises, it just like pulls right on my ligament. So I've been trying to fix it. I wear like plantar fasciitis socks, try and do like scrunches to the bottom of my foot, but it's still getting me, especially when I'm pushing my body weight up. Feet hurt because I'm so heavy in it. So first main exercise, I guess, calves don't count. They do count, all right? So I'm joking around. Standing crossover lateral raises. So really looking to challenge the length and range here, which is just going to be where the long cable stack's going to come through. So I'd say don't do this on the close con. Do this on the wide one. Crossover. Just going to go 4 straight sets to failure, or just before failure, I should say, just before form gets a bit shit. And yeah, delts will be blown after that. So one thing I'm doing here is I'm staying within a 10 to 15 rep range. So in having to stay within that 10 to 15 rep range and maintain an intensity of like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 failure, I'm gonna have to drop that weight down. So first set was 20 kilos, doesn't matter what it is, but it was notch 20 on my bar. Did 12, realized if I'm gonna get 10 again or above, I'm gonna have to drop that weight. Went to 14, did 14 for 14. Well, I know that's one away from 15. So, and then I was like, I can do probably 14 again. So I just did 14, I only got 10 that time. Is because fatigue is setting in. So now I know to drop it one more time for our final set. And that's how I'm like taking these drop-offs when I'm maintaining sets. I get that asked that a lot, and it's, if your intensity stays the same, there's no way you can do the same weight. So it's gonna have to come down. Oh. So this is like day 3 post-rave. We went to a rave, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw it on my Instagram. We went to a rave in downtown Toronto, in like the most surreal and serene place. It was like a beach with like a big oil tanker, or not, it's like a big tanker behind us, and then like the skyline. It was unbelievable. I didn't train Monday, I didn't eat Sunday, so I was a little bit flat. Ate a lot Monday, ate a lot Tuesday, took Wednesday off, trained Tuesday, was a little bit flat, and now it's like day 3, I'm like, okay, I feel the fullness a little bit back, so feeling much better because of that. So moving on to my first and only press today. Like I said, this is very much shoulder dominated, shoulder and tricep dominated, I should say. There is a dip, but it's not so much like another press. So this is the Atlantis incline. Last week we got 5 plates for 10 reps. This is 4 plates, so I'm still warming up at the moment. And we'll see how we feel. And that feels fucking easy, kid. That's the easy that. Thank you. Five plates 10. Last time this is 5.5, so 20 kilos up in total. 6, 7. And that is what you call a fucking steroid cycle kicking in. Jesus Christ, man. That's 10 kilos up each side and max reps. I could have pushed one more out with someone, but I'll take that. Jesus. That's 1 rep up from my top set last week on my second set. Okay. It's always good to know that the steroids you're using are real, by the way. If you don't notice those like big jumps when you first go on, like it could be a case of like that shit's underdosed, so very happy to feel that. Oh shit. So moving on to a tricep exercise, so you can see this is not like the traditional push workout. High incline, well, incline, then to tricep. So this is a long rope, well this is actually 2 ropes, both elongated out. The reason why I do that is so that I don't get caught in a short rope and I can't fully extend. Instead, I can bring myself fully out and extend in a natural line of movement, because no one's elbows extend like this, they actually extend outwards. So that's really, really important to know. And you'll see that as we work out here. So 3 sets, 10 to 15 here. Going much closer to failure than I would do on like a big compound here, because much less fatigue driven. So moving on to like a lower pec, still obviously hitting a lot of the tricep with the extension. A little bit of front delt as well here, but like kind of focusing on the lower pec a little bit more, that lower pec meat, while also hitting a bit more tricep volume here. I've been doing dips for like, since the beginning of working with John. I think it's been 9 weeks now, something like that. Every place I've been has had a pretty standard dip machine, which has been good, but here they don't, it's not the best. So I'm finally swapping to a normal dip, or a dip machine I should say, one that you can plate load. So high reps here, 15 to 20. And that's like, oh, that's like a true 1, maybe 2 reps in reserve. Probably 1 though, like that I could get 1 more of those on my own. So that's what I'm trying to leave those reps, just about. So I think John must be telling me something about my triceps, because we're on to another tricep exercise. It's actually our penultimate exercise here. So we're doing supposed to be doing a JM press, which is the John Meadows press, which is kind of like elbows inwards. But for me, that puts a lot of pressure on my elbows. So I do a French press, which is basically just elbows forward, and you'll extend at the head with dumbbells. I finally worked up to like 22 kilos. This is just below because they only have 45 pounds here. They do pounds here. But this is a great movement for that long head. Just lower it down as much as you can get. You see that range of motion available, it's so big. Pushing straight back up. Okay. So just finish up this session with rear delts. So it pretty much is like mostly a delt and tricep session for like 1 set. If you want to count the dips, 2 exercises of chest, but really one incline set there. Everything 3 sets. Everything kind of above that, at least 8 reps, all of it above 8 reps. Really thinking that my days of like 5-6 reps are probably over. Just think the risk to reward ratio is probably not good. Generally just doing a little bit higher volume. It's going pretty well, you know. We'll just see how that progression goes and we'll adjust our training based off the progressions. But that's something we'll talk about when we do sit down in a few hours time. Hi guys, so we haven't been in a place where we can do a physique update for a little while, so we'll do a physique update on the channel. It's been I don't know how many months it's been, but here we go. I guess we'll do the classic mandatories. I'm not going to take my shorts off because I'm not feeling comfortable today, but I'll do the other mandatories. So, but I'll pull my legs up so you can see them. Let's go. So there we go, a little bit thicker. I'm 100 and 116.1 kilos this morning. It's about 260 pounds, maybe a little bit less. But I mean, my legs are still, yeah, pretty straight still. Got some good condition through them all up to the top of the adductor there. Still got, if I stretch, veins in my abs. I've got to stretch now. But condition's not too bad. Got a lot of runway to grow now, so let's fucking go. Alright then guys, so to talk about the training program now, obviously the focus of my physique is to bring up those classic shots. My chest and shoulders are pretty full. I need some work on my arms, I need some work on the thickness through my back, and I need just to work on, generally speaking, overall density to the physique, which will happen. So the split at the moment, it is going to be a push A, so that'll be like the first push session, obviously, a pull A, push B, a pull B, and then legs. So pretty much push pull legs, with a rest in between on the Wednesday and a rest on the Sunday. Very, very similar to my last off seasons. A few different changes in terms of exercise selection, which we'll go through, but generally just gearing that physique. Just gearing that volume towards improving the physique in those shots. So that first session, here as you can see on the screen, push chest dominated. So it's basically just chest dominated. You can see here, there's a dumbbell flat press, there's an incline flat press, and there's a pec deck. So that's 3 exercises dedicated to chest there, with just 1 exercise dedicated to chest in the prime lateral machine presses. Now you can see at the top there, calf raises. That is because I will be training calves every other session, and you'll see these pop up at the start of sessions. I think people leave these to the end more often than not. So for me, I start my sessions with it. When it doesn't affect the workout, like I'm not training legs, I'm not going to train my calves first, because you need not a pump in your calves to do things efficiently. But they're going to be in those places where you can account for that volume. So for this push session, and then you'll see as we scroll down, and we can see that there's like a heavy amount of arms on there, or triceps. So 6 sets of triceps, which is like the same amount of sets as there would be for my chest as well. So you can see there's a bigger focus on triceps, and also chest on this session. So that'll be push chest dominated here. You can see that everything here is either between 2 and 4 sets, with my chest being a pretty, I would say, a stronger point. Not as like super strong, but I think that's one of the stronger points. It's only got 2 sets. Everything else that needs to improve is 3 sets. So there's 4 sets of calf raises, 4 sets of laterals, 3 sets of arms on each exercise. So really, really important to know that. Pull A. Now this one is more posterior focused. You can see immediately when we pull down here, you can see that there's a hamstring curl in there. There's a barbell bent over row there. There's also some erector curls at the end, erector extensions at the end. So this is like what you would traditionally call a posterior session. So an upper back pull down, which I just call a lat pull down. It's like a kind of rear double bicep shot. Then we work into doing hamstrings. So I'm hitting my hamstrings twice a week. Once will be on this Tuesday, and then once will be on the Saturday with legs. And you can see here 3 sets of hamstrings. That's a lot of sets when you're working to failure. So it's normally I've only ever done 2 sets on hamstrings, and I've only ever done 2 sets on everything for the last like 5 years. So it's nice and refreshing to see the sets go up accordingly. So I'm pretty happy with just having this pull session here as a big posterior session. Everything here is 3 sets, except for the lat pullover machine. The reason why this is just 2 sets here is because we've just added that in. Now you're going to notice as we go over the workouts over the weeks and months that it's going to be different volume, and that's something that I've not done in a long while. Normally I just focus on the weight on the bar. Now I'm going to be focusing on the rate of progression. Now as my rate of progression has been pretty darn high the last few weeks, it's very, very clear that I can handle a little bit more volume in my back training. So we just stuck 2 sets of lat pullovers, lat pull down. You can do the machine, or I can do like a stood up with a rope. But there's just like a little bit more volume. If you're progressing really, really, really well, try sneak a bit more volume in there. You might find that you grow a little bit better. So everything else 3 sets, and then as you scroll down to the bottom here, you can see that there's another 3 sets on both bicep exercises, much like the tricep. So that is a pretty hefty back session for sure. And then we move back on to delts, which will be like a push delt dominated day. Now we start again with delts straight away. Now there is an incline press, but this will be like the only I say only chest. There is dips, but like the main chest exercise, and then go on to triceps, go on to dips, go on to more triceps and more triceps, and then also rear delts. So you can see there's a lot of focus on kind of growing these arms over the chest at the moment, just because chest is one of those things, especially when I hit like a side chest, it's one of those things that it's pretty strong in that shot and potentially overpowering the rest of the shots, which is why there is a little bit more focus on the delts. Again here, 3 sets across everything, because I can handle the volume there. I'm still progressing really, really well. I just did this session the other day and my progressions were really, really high again. So there might be a little bit more volume in this the next time we revisit this in a month or two. And then pull B, so this one is not posterior focus. There is no lower back loading, there is no hamstring or glute loading, there is just kind of like straight back. And you'll see here that everything here was 3 sets, apart from the prime extreme row. Now this has just been taken to 4 sets for the exact same reason. As I mentioned before, my progressions were really, really good across the week. So again, we are pushing the volume to slow down that progression, but also just increase the total volume. Like if you add an entire new set for like 10 to 15 reps, that is like a pretty big amount of volume extra, which is pretty important to know. But you can see here, single arm, which is a vertical pull, then you got a horizontal pull, then you got another horizontal pull, and then it's just biceps again, just 3 sets on each. So again, that's 12 sets of biceps that we've hit already this week, 12 sets of triceps already this week. This would be 18 sets of back, and then only like 10 sets of chest at the moment. So you can see where the total volume is being skewed here. And then finally, as we move on to legs, like this is a pretty standard setup leg day, but again, a lot more of that volume to the hamstrings. 4 sets on hamstrings, and everything else is just 2 sets except for leg extensions, which is 3 sets. So you can see that as you look at the total volume, and I'm not going to just talk specifically about the exercises because they're on the screen. You can see what exercises they are. But you can see that the total volume of this plan is definitely pushing things towards like that rear double bicep shot, right? I think that's the shot that is glaringly the worst for me. And I think I'm not solely focusing on that. We're not solely focusing on the rear double bicep shot, but because everything else will continue to grow as we move forward. But it's just one of those things that at the moment we are focusing on. So that is the full workout. Again, push, pull, rest on a Wednesday, push, pull, legs, rest on a Saturday, and you know, the volume will go up. That is something that is key at this time, is that volume will go up, and also all of these sets are not to failure. Oh my God, after 5, maybe 6 years of doing it, these sets are just shy of failure. Now you might watch me and think they are to failure, and potentially they're pretty close. Like I'm very, very, very well drilled to go to failure, so they'd be pretty darn close to failure, but they're just not like taking it beyond. I'm not taking 2 or 3 drop sets. I'm not having a partner take me through forced reps. I'm just taking it like just before I think I couldn't do one more, and then I'm going to call it there. The reason being is because that extra rep, the fatigue it builds, potentially is just not worth the reward it yields. So we're going to stay just shy of it. Maybe 1 or 2 sets will take it all the way there if we're feeling good, and it's maybe the final set. But at the moment, I'm growing well, I'm feeling good, and training is going very well. So that, guys, is the training program to hopefully, no, delete that word, to take me to the Olympia. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace and love, everybody. Bye-bye.